What if I told you that hidden away in secret labs and scientific programs, researchers have crossed boundaries that were never meant to be touched? Real animal hybrids that blur the line between fact and nightmare. Mice with human brain cells. Now imagine this, a mouse scurrying across the floor, but inside its skull, human brain cells are firing. This isn't fiction. For years, scientists have been injecting human brain stem cells into mice, creating what they call humanized mice. Humanized mouse brain research involves transplanting human stem cells or tissue into the brains of mice to create human-mouse chimeric models. Now these models serve as valuable platforms to study human brain development, diseases, and potential therapies by observing how human cells integrate and function within the living mouse brain environment. Researchers use these models to investigate neurological disorders, test medicine efficiency, and explore regenerative processes within, a complex multicellular setting that mimics aspects of the human brain. Now, in some cases, the human cells replace large portions of the mouse's brain tissue, even making their brains function differently. Tests showed that these mice developed stronger memory and learning abilities than ordinary mice. Some ethicists began warning that if taken further, these rodents could theoretically develop human-like intelligence. The thought alone is chilling. A lab mouse gaining fragments of human consciousness. The images from these experiments look harmless, just small rodents, in cages or slides under microscopes, but what they represent is anything but harmless. They are the first step towards animals with human minds. The kunga. Now, not all hybrids are man-made. Sometimes nature does what it does best and creates creatures that defy explanation or reason. Now, over 4,000 years ago, people bred a powerful animal known as the kunga, which is a cross between a wild donkey and a domestic one. It was stronger, faster, and prized for warfare and elite transport. Now, according to old texts, the kunga was one of 6 equids known to the Syro-Mesopotamian people. Now, a healthy specimen could be sold for up to 6 times the price of a donkey. Now, the animal was regarded as a symbol of status and wealth, and it was frequently included in the lives of wealthy families or used as a diplomatic gift. The kunga owes, this prestige to its usefulness. Its size and strength, made it a favorable alternative to donkeys, and it could be used to pull everything from chariots to carts to plows. Now, as with any prized possession, of course, the economy built around the breeding and selling of these beasts of burden, and it was considerable and complex. Those looking to buy a kunga foal did not look for one inside the city. It was so great of a demand for this animal that its production was actually moved into the countryside. Surviving texts show that, the cities of Sumer, Syria, and Elba imported their kungas from one place in particular, a breeding center at Nagar, which is up in northern Mesopotamia. Now, ancient DNA proved it was a deliberate hybrid, showing humans have been kind of manipulating species for far longer than we realized. Solar-powered hybrid animal cells. Now, this one sounds like science fiction, but it's very much real. Scientists in Tokyo successfully implanted plant chloroplasts, the green kind of organelles that let plants turn sunlight into energy, into animal cells. Now, specifically, they placed them inside hamster cells, and the shocking part in this, well, the chloroplasts actually stayed alive and working inside the animal cells for nearly 2 days. Under the microscope, the hybrid cells literally glowed green and started creating energy from sunlight. They weren't entirely self-sufficient, but they grew faster than normal cells, suggesting that they had truly harnessed plant energy. The fish that shouldn't exist. Now, in a quiet laboratory, scientists accidentally created a hybrid fish that should have never been possible. They combined the sperm of the American paddlefish with the eggs of the Russian sturgeon, 2 species so evolutionary distant, that no one expected fertilization to even happen, but it did. And the embryos didn't just form, they actually developed. Now, some of the hybrid fish survived long enough to be photographed and studied. They showed bizarre traits, like some resembling the long paddle-shaped snout of the paddlefish, others taking on the kind of armored scales of the sturgeon. Now, these creatures were a one-of-a-kind combination, blending 2 ancient lineages, into one body. This hybrid would be later referred to as the sturtlefish. Now, both the American paddlefish and the Russian sturgeon are endangered species, so there's that. Now, researchers in Hungary conducted experiments designed to test if either species could be bred in captivity, and didn't expect these results, at all. The researchers were surprised when viable offspring actually resulted. The 2 species share the most most recent common ancestor, which lived in the early Jurassic, approximately 184 Maya. Now, for this reason, the potential for a hybrid between the two species was not initially considered, by the researchers. I mean, they later speculated that in spite of the long time span, that there were relatively few genetic changes between the species. Both fish have been called living fossils due to their slow evolution over time. The American paddlefish is the only species of paddlefish living after the extinction of the Chinese paddlefish, which was estimated to be extinct by 2005 and no later by 2010. Now, sturgeons are considered by IUCN to be the most critically endangered group of species in the world, based on over 85% of sturgeon species being at risk of extinction. The goat-sheep hybrid, also known as the geep. Now, on farms, people began whispering about a strange animal with the woolly kind of body of a sheep, but the face and legs of a goat. This was no myth. The geep, a goat-sheep hybrid, is very real. These hybrids have been born both naturally and in lab experiments. Now, despite widespread shared pasturing of goats and sheep, hybrids are very, very rare, demonstrating the genetic distance between the two species. Now, one geep was documented with exactly 57 chromosomes, halfway between the 54 of a sheep and the 60 of a goat. It looked like a bizarre fusion with patches of wool and patches of hair, a goat-like face but a sheep-like body. Many were infertile, but some lived normal lives, baffling farmers and scientists alike. I mean, in another case, embryos from a goat and a sheep were fused together, creating a true chimera with different tissues, part goat, part sheep, living in the same body. These cases were photographed, and the images spread quickly because of how unsettling they looked. There was a reported case of live birth of twin geep on a farm in Ireland in 2018, and there was also a reported case of a live birth of a sheep-goat hybrid on a farm in Tabor in Czech Republic in 2020. I mean, her name was Barunka, and she had, health complications after being born, of course, but her owners did not know if she was a goat or a sheep, since neither goats nor sheep accepted her. Upon further inspection, it was discovered she was a sheep-goat hybrid. The dog-fox hybrid of Brazil. Now, in 2021, rescuers in Brazil found a strange animal after a car accident. Actually, it was a hit and run. Shake my head. Anyway, at first they thought it was a stray dog, but its long muzzle, pointed ears, and unusual behavior didn't match any normal breed, and apparently she refused to eat dog food and would only eat rats. Love that for her. Now, genetic testing confirmed what no one expected. This was a hybrid between a pampas fox and a domestic dog. Nicknamed Dog Sheem, this little trailblazer displayed eerie traits of both parents. It barked like a dog, but also howled like a fox. I mean, it ate food, but also, hunted small prey like a wild animal. Its appearance was unsettling, with kind of a fox-like face and dog-like body. Now, the Dog Sheem became the first confirmed fox-dog hybrid in the world, and they learned this through genetic testing based, off the number of chromosomes she had. She had 76, and local fox species typically have 74, and domestic dogs have 78, meaning, she was right in the middle. So, 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing. Now, scientists studying it said the creature was unlike anything they had ever seen, which is a living reminder that, hybridization isn't just confined to labs. Sometimes it happens in the wild. So my question to you all is, how much of what we've seen has already gone further than we're being told? I mean, if these are the cases that leaked or were published, what about the experiments hidden behind classified doors? When you watch footage of these hybrids, remember, this is only the beginning. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Ashla. See you later.